It's 1944 and Germany's soldiers occupies much of France. The war has been raging for over 4 years, and the Allies are planning to liberate the country from German control. But the Germans are not yet ready to relinquish their grip on France. They have placed spies everywhere watching for signs of the coming Allied invasion. And here in the small village of Tory-en-Bresse, there is a young woman known only as the girl who delivers bread. She is a small and unassuming figure who makes regular deliveries to the homes of the villagers. She has never had any particular interest in politics, and her life has been simple and uncomplicated. That is until now. The girl's life changes when she meets a young man named Jules, a member of the French resistance who is charged with delivering a mysterious package to an underground printing press in the city. He asks the girl to help him deliver the package, but she refuses, saying that she is too busy making her deliveries. Jules insists, saying that it is important work and that she can make the delivery after she finishes her other errands. Still reluctant, the girl eventually agrees to help Jules. As they set out on their mission, the girl soon finds herself in danger. She is forced to navigate through heavily guarded German checkpoints and evade the watchful eyes of German soldiers. All the while, she is carrying a heavy bag that weighs her down and slows her progress. Despite the danger, the girl presses on, determined to complete her mission and help the resistance cause. As the story progresses, the girl becomes more involved in the resistance movement. She begins to see the oppressive nature of the German occupation and the bravery of those who stand up against it. The girl's character undergoes a transformation as she confronts danger and learns about the resistance movement. She becomes more confident and assertive, shedding her former timidity and embracing her role as a courier. As the story reaches its climax, the girl faces a major challenge. She is captured by the Gestapo and taken to a prison where she is tortured and interrogated. Despite the pain and suffering she endures, the girl remains steadfast in her commitment to the resistance. She refuses to betray her comrades and provides false information to the Gestapo. Eventually, the girl is released from prison, but she is forever changed by her experience. She continues to work with the resistance, but now she is more cautious and secretive. She knows that her life is in danger, but she is willing to risk it all for the cause. Now let's jump into the story. My name isn't the one on the posters. I wasn't a general, a spy, or a martyr. I was just a girl with fast legs, a sharp memory, and a worn-out bicycle. I delivered messages through forests, across checkpoints, and once over a mine bridge with a bullet in my side. When they caught Jules, I knew I had two choices: run or finish his mission. So I made one last ride. I didn't know what was in the satchel, only that the entire resistance cell in Lyon was counting on me. I had 24 hours, the Gestapo on my tail, and no second chances. This is the story of that ride. The wind whipped my hair across my face, stinging my eyes and forcing me to squint against the gray sky. Rain threatened, mirroring the turmoil in my stomach. My hands, gripping the handlebars, were slick with nervous sweat. Behind me, the forest of Tory-en-Bresse pressed closer, whispering secrets in a language I no longer understood. It had been 2 days since Jules, my contact in the resistance, entrusted me with this mission. 2 days since I'd seen the haunted look in his eyes as he placed the worn leather satchel on my back, heavier than its size, heavier than hope. 2 days ago, the Germans had come for Jules. For weeks, they'd suspected him of being a courier for the resistance, a link in a chain that supplied forged papers to downed Allied pilots. One by one, his comrades had been picked off. Now it was Jules's turn. If they find what's in this bag, the whole network is compromised, he said, his voice grim. Get it to Henry, please. It's vital. And then he was gone, vanished into the clutches of the Gestapo. I'd chosen to run. Easy. It was easy to become one more face in the crowd. Another girl pedaling her bike through the German soldiers. No one would question me. No one would look twice. Except someone did. Mademoiselle Dupont, a wisp of a woman with eyes like a hungry bird, had watched me leave town. 3 times I'd seen her perched on windowsills, once by a church, twice at crossroads. Her gaze, sharp and unwavering, tore through the flimsy veil I'd woven around myself. Who was she? An ally, a threat, or something in between. I pushed the thought away, focusing on the road ahead. I knew Mademoiselle Dupont was on to me, but so what? I had the fastest bike in Tory and Bess, a trusty steed that ate up the miles with ease. The forest welcomed me like an old friend, its leafy arms reaching out to embrace me, to shield me. Here among the ancient trees, I could almost believe that the war was not raging just beyond the trees. But the illusion shattered as I reached the edge of the wood. Before me lay the village of Mancy, a German checkpoint, a veritable minefield of danger. I could hear the barked commands and the shouts of soldiers, their presence a suffocating blanket over the town. There was only one way through, straight into the lion's den. I took a deep breath, calming the tremor in my hands. I'd done this before, countless times. Each time I emerged from the forest, my heart hammered against my ribs, threatening to give me away. Each time I'd made it through, I reminded myself, I can do this. I must do this. The fate of downed pilots, of resistance fighters, rested on my shoulders. I had no choice but to pedal into the jaws of the checkpoint. The German officer, his face a mask of arrogance, scrutinized my documents. His gaze flicked to the satchel at my back, a silent question hanging in the air. I met his eyes unflinchingly. My documents were in order. There was nothing in that bag that a simple girl delivering bread would be carrying. At least that's what I told myself. As he waved me through, I didn't stop pedaling. I raced out of the checkpoint. The officers shouted curses echoing behind me. The forest welcomed me back, its protective embrace a balm against the terror that gripped me, but my respite was short-lived. The road stretched before me, long and dangerous, leading me ever closer to my destination, to Henry. Each bend in the road, each tree that lined the path seemed to whisper warnings of what lay ahead. How many times had I made this journey? Too many to count. The route from Tory and Brest to Limas was etched into my bones. I knew every twist and turn, every rise and fall of the road. But today, the road was a minefield. Today, every mile was fraught with peril. Mademoiselle Dupont was out there somewhere, watching, waiting. She was a phantom, a specter haunting my journey, her presence a constant, gnawing anxiety in my gut. I told myself she wasn't there, that I was safe. But the rational part of me knew better. She was playing a deadly game of cat and mouse, and I was the mouse, trapped in a maze of her design. How much longer could I outrun her? How much longer could I keep pedaling, keep moving, keep hoping? The sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows that stretched like grasping claws across the road. The forest I had fled now loomed like a dark and brooding giant, its silhouette jagged against the fiery hues of the sunset. I stopped, leaning my bike against a tree. In the gathering gloom, I pulled out the map Jules had given me. We had planned different routes, escape routes in case of pursuit, but my pursuer was not the Germans. It was Mademoiselle Dupont, and she knew these roads like the back of her hand. I unfolded the map, tracing the lines with my finger. I had 3 options, 3 chances. The first route led me deeper into the forest, a labyrinth of ancient trees and overgrown paths. It was a good route, but too predictable. Mademoiselle Dupont would be there before me. The second option was to head north towards the River Saône. The winding course of the river offered some concealment, but it was a long shot. By the time I reached the rendezvous point, Henry might have received word of my capture. That left only one possibility, a wild card, a route through the mountains to the east, a place I had never ridden before. It was a long, treacherous climb, but if I could reach the top, I might shake off Mademoiselle Dupont. I might have a chance. I chose the mountains, the most unlikely of routes, and began to climb. The ascent was steep and relentless, testing my strength, my endurance, my will. The road snaked upwards, each bend bringing me closer to the crest. And there at the summit, like a beacon of hope, I saw it, a signpost pointing the way to the rendezvous point. Relief flooded me, sweet and intoxicating. I was almost there. But my triumph was short-lived. From the corner of my eye, I saw a flash of movement, a fleeting glimpse of a figure silhouetted against the setting sun. Mademoiselle Dupont. She was on the final stretch of the climb, gaining on me. I dug my heels into the pedals, urging my bike onward. I had to get to the rendezvous point first. I had to deliver the package. The road flattened, giving way to a high plateau, the wind snatching at my clothes, whipping my hair into a frenzy. Below me, the valley spread out like a patchwork quilt, the river snaking through it like a silver thread. And there in the distance, nestled amidst rolling hills, lay the village of Limon, my destination. I could see Henry waiting for me, his face etched with worry. I spurred my bike on, my heart pounding against my ribs. I was almost there, then I heard the sound of wheels crunching on gravel, the echo of my own wheels. I turned around and saw Mademoiselle Dupont emerging from the trees, her bike a blur of motion. She was gaining on me, closing the distance between us with every stroke. I pushed harder, my legs burning, my lungs screaming for air. I had to reach the village before she did. I burst out of the trees, the village of Lima spread out before me, a tableau of quaint houses and winding streets. Henry stood by the fountain in the village square, his eyes scanning the road. He saw me, relief flooded his face, but it was quickly replaced by a frown as he noticed the wild look in my eyes, the sheen of sweat on my forehead. "You're late," he said, his voice grave. "What happened?" I gasped for breath, unable to speak. In the distance, I heard the sound of wheels and footsteps. Mademoiselle Dupont was close behind. I handed the satchel to Henry, my hands shaking. "Go," I whispered, my voice hoarse. "Go and hide, please." He didn't ask questions. He took the satchel and vanished down a side street. Footsteps pounded on the pavement, growing louder, faster. I turned around, my heart hammering against my ribs. There was no escape now. I had nowhere left to run. Mademoiselle Dupont stood before me, her face pale but resolute. "It's over," she said, her voice low. "Give up the resistance, girl. And maybe we can still be reasonable." Reasonable? Her words hung in the air, mocking me, challenging me. I stared back at her, my gaze unwavering. "Never," I whispered, the word catching in my throat. "I refuse to break. I refuse to betray Jules, the resistance, myself." A flicker of something crossed Mademoiselle Dupont's face. Admiration, respect, regret. She sighed, the fight draining out of her. "Very well," she said softly, "then it ends here." And with that, she drew a gun. Everything went black.